So I wanted to do this quick video for you today about tongue tension. And you may never have given your tongue that much thought when it comes to speech, but it is such an important articulator. And I've never talked specifically about tongue tension before, so I wanted to do a quick video on this about why it's so important to eliminate tongue tension and how you can find out if your tongue is indeed tense. So first of all, why does it matter? Now, I'm talking specifically in this video more from a speech perspective, but it absolutely applies probably tenfold if you're a singer. So first of all, the tongue has a profound impact on our voice because it actually lies the entire length of our vocal tract. And the vocal tract is essentially from the lips to the vocal folds or vocal cords in the larynx. And it's also attached to the larynx at the very bottom via the hyoid bone, which means that if the tongue is tense, it's going to impact the voice. Now, also from a speech perspective, consonants and vowels that we create all the time in our speech are predominantly needing the tongue to be dynamic and moving to create those consonants or vowels. And so if you are sort of creating certain vowels, the tongue might pull back and there's a height adjustment of the tongue, but also certain consonants, it might be the tip of the tongue or it might be the blade of the tongue. So every consonant and every vowel has a slight different tongue position. So the tongue being able to be agile and dynamic in our speech is so important for clear articulation and a kind of effortless voice as well. It's going to really help in terms of clarity and resonance and projection. So how do you know if your tongue is tense? Because to be honest, for a lot of us, and I include myself in this too, before I did any of this type of training and work, you know, it just becomes so normal for us to have tension in our tongue that we don't even know it's tense. And so sometimes we have to do specific exercises to actually illuminate the fact that it is tense. So I'm going to show you a quick exercise now, and all you need is a pen or a pencil or a metal straw, but something that's kind of long and hard. And I'm going to just show you with my hand first of all. So this is my tongue, so that you can see what I'm doing. So the idea is that you're going to put the pen under your tongue, and so your tongue is essentially flopping over the pen like a tired kitten or puppy. You know how they just kind of, you know, they're exhausted and they just kind of flop on top of you. They're not grasping, they're not gripping, they're not, you know, holding on for dear life. They're just a dead weight on top of you. So that's what you want to think about when you're doing this exercise versus, you know, a lot of tension and when you're doing it. And then what you're going to do is, first of all, just very simply, we're going to do it just on just a very simple sound. And then you're going to sort of try and move your voice up and down and see what happens. So I'm going to show you now what this will look like. And I'll also show you what it might look like when your tongue is particularly tense as well. So first of all, let me just demonstrate a very simple and then see if you can go up and down. Now again, because you're speaking, you don't have to do crazy, you know, scales. This is just a bit of movement in the voice. Now, the more tense your tongue is, the more your tongue is going to really fight this. And so what you might notice is, first of all, it really tries to grip the pen. Or it might just start to pull back. Or it might just start to thin or bowl. It will start to do some crazy things. So really you want it just very relaxed and just to sort of flop over the pen. Now, the more you practice this, the more the tongue gets used to this sort of new way of being, because it's so used to tensing. And in most of us, where it tends to tense is it tends to tense at the base, and so it retracts and pulls back. So that's really where it wants to go for most people. And we want to encourage it to be much more forward so we can get that clarity in our articulation. So see how you go, see what happens. You might want to do this in front of a mirror to start with and have a go start to notice what your tongue is doing. So is it trying to get away from the pen, or is it happy to just flop over the pen? So have a go, see how you find it. And when you get good at that, you can take the pen away and just start to get the tongue used to being relaxed in your mouth versus just gripping and tensing all the time. So until next time, I'll see you in another video.